The moment my wife told me I wasn't her owner, I realized she had already chosen someone else. What she didn't know was that the office she thought she controlled still answered to only one person, me. My name is Ethan Carter. I'm 39 years old, and I built Carter Dynamics from a rented garage in Austin, Texas. People assumed I was just another quiet engineer. They never understood that silence isn't weakness. Silence is the last warning. For 12 years my wife Olivia stood beside me, or at least I thought she did. When we married, we had nothing except an old pickup truck, student debt, and dreams that seemed far too big. I worked 18-hour days. She handled marketing. Together, we built a company worth hundreds of millions. Everyone called us the perfect American success story. They were wrong, because somewhere along the way, success became more important to her than loyalty. It started with business trips. Chicago, Seattle, New York. Always conferences. Always meetings. Always another excuse. I ignored the growing distance because I trusted my wife. Then one evening she packed another suitcase. I'm flying to Miami for 3 days, I asked quietly. Do you really have another conference? She rolled her eyes. Oh my God, Ethan. Then she laughed. Stop being so emotional about my work trip. I'm not your property. The room became painfully silent. I simply nodded. She grabbed her suitcase and slammed the front door. She never noticed. I never asked another question. The next morning, I didn't go home. I went to my attorney, because 6 months earlier, an anonymous envelope had appeared on my desk. Inside were photographs, hotel lobbies, dinner dates, airport lounges, Olivia with our chief operating officer, Ryan Bennett. At first, I refused to believe it until my private investigator confirmed everything. Their affair had lasted almost a year, but that wasn't even the worst part. Ryan wasn't acting alone. Someone inside the company had been helping him. Someone with board access. Someone with financial authority. The investigation uncovered a second name, Harold Mitchell, Olivia's father, the man I had trusted like my own family. Together, they'd been quietly preparing to force me out of the company I'd built. Most people don't know how corporate control really works. Everyone assumed I had stepped away from daily operations because I preferred engineering over meetings. That was intentional. Officially, Olivia served as executive vice president. Ryan managed operations. Harold advised the board. It looked like they were running everything, but there was one detail they overlooked: the voting shares. I still owned 51%. He inside a family trust. Only my attorney knew. 48 hours later, Olivia returned from her conference. She walked confidently through the glass entrance of Carter Dynamics. She smiled at the receptionist. I'm here for the executive meeting. The receptionist didn't smile back. They're waiting for you upstairs. Something felt different. Employees weren't greeting her. Conversations stopped as she walked past. Doors quietly closed. When the elevator opened, the boardroom stood completely silent. Ryan looked pale. Harold wasn't speaking. Both men stared toward the head of the table, toward my chair where I was already sitting. Olivia froze. What is this? I calmly closed a folder. Good morning. Ryan stood up. Ethan, we can explain. I raised one finger. Sit. He obeyed instantly. Harold swallowed hard. Ethan, this doesn't have to become ugly. I looked directly into his eyes. It became ugly the day you helped steal from your own son-in-law. Olivia frowned. What are you talking about? I slid several documents across the polished table. Private investigator reports, bank transfers, corporate emails, hotel invoices, photos, dozens of them. Ryan reached for the papers. His hands were shaking. Olivia's face slowly lost all color. No, she whispered. Where did you get these? I stopped asking questions months ago. I started collecting answers. Silence swallowed the room. Then Harold exploded. This proves nothing. I smiled. It proves enough. Then our outside counsel entered. Behind him came 2 federal investigators. Neither Ryan nor Harold expected that. One investigator placed a sealed warrant onto the table. Mr. Bennett, we'll need your company laptop. Ryan looked at Olivia. She looked back at him. For the first time, neither had an excuse. Because the investigation wasn't just about the affair. Ryan and Harold had diverted company contracts to shell businesses they secretly owned. Millions of dollars. They thought Olivia would eventually become CEO. Then together they'd remove me permanently. But every financial move had been tracked, every signature recorded, every transfer documented. Olivia suddenly turned toward me. Ethan, I never knew about the money. I believed her. She had betrayed me, but she hadn't planned the fraud. That part belonged to Ryan and her father. She started crying. I thought she couldn't finish, because sometimes guilt says more than words ever can. Federal agents escorted Ryan and Harold from the building. Neither looked back. The board voted unanimously to terminate them immediately. Then every director quietly stood waiting for my decision. I looked around the room. At the company I'd sacrificed birthdays, Anniversaries, family dinners, everything. To build. Then I looked at Olivia. She wasn't wearing confidence anymore. Only regret, she whispered. Can we fix this? The question broke something inside me, because 12 years earlier, I would have done anything to save us, but trust, once shattered, never returns the same. I slowly removed my wedding ring, placed it beside her. I forgive you, but forgiveness isn't permission to stay. Tears streamed down her face. I still love you. I nodded gently. I believe you, but love without loyalty eventually becomes heartbreak. She reached for my hand. I quietly stood instead, then walked out. 6 months later, Carter Dynamics was stronger than ever. New leadership, new culture, complete transparency. Employees told me the company finally felt like family again. As for Olivia, she accepted responsibility during the divorce. She later started rebuilding her own life far away from Texas. We never spoke again. Sometimes people ask whether revenge brought me peace. The answer is no, justice did. Because revenge destroys everyone. Justice simply lets the truth speak for itself, and sometimes, the most powerful sentence you'll ever say isn't shouted in anger, it's spoken quietly, just one word. Noted. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below.